It's been an eventful year for Byju's. What went wrong?
I wouldn't look at it as what went wrong. I would say it was a very eventful year, a year full of learnings, more learnings than ever before, a year filled with challenges, but also an opportunity to do things right, an opportunity to relearn, to unlearn, Satya Nadella's book hits me always, hit refresh. I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hit refresh. From a charter of only growth, we're now looking at growth with profitability. And what's really helping is that the foundation is very strong. So no matter what wind or hurricane hits it, the fact is that if your core is really strong, you can build back. And that's what we are trying our best to do.
So was the mentality prior sort of growth at all costs? And obviously you were helped a lot by the trends that came in with the pandemic, the stay-at-home orders, and therefore a lot of education shifting online. Did you think at that point that this is it, this is going to continue at this pace? And that's why there were all the acquisitions and the investments made?
Yes, so 2022 would be the year of maximum acquisitions, 9 big ones, right? So the pandemic was great because it solved the biggest challenge of people not knowing about how online education can be a part of mainstream learning. But the disadvantage was also that, we had to grow at a frenetic pace. We had to grow to ensure that we're able to meet the demand. We saw a huge traction. But the point is, even today, we continue to see that traction. So as we speak, monthly, more than 100 million students still hit our platform. And we're literally at zero branding costs.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the specifics now. You're rebuilding, really, very much at this point. You're trying to sort out a lot of those issues you have ongoing, whether it's the debt, whether it's the acquisitions. So let's just try to unpack some of that. There's been a lot of focus on your spin-off attempts at this point in time. Epic and Great Learning, the US businesses, right? How is that process going? Are you almost there in terms of being able to sell these businesses off?
I want to start by saying that although it looks like there are maybe hundreds of problems, the fact is there are 3 big challenges, right? The first was the audit, which we closed, and now we're on to the next one, right? The second was the second was at Akash, one of our biggest subsidiaries. That also has gotten resolved, right? And the last is basically the term loan B. So 2 out of 3, I would say, are heading positively, heading in the right direction. The third one, and that's why we're looking at selling one or two of our non-core assets, like Epic, which is mainly to refinance the term loan B. And once that's done, we're going to go.
So just to be clear, the strategy is to sell off the businesses, raise the money to pay off the debt?
Yes.
Okay. And
some of them, not
some of them.
The non-core ones.
The non-core ones. So with Epic and potentially Great Learning, are these sales that are near?
We're looking at that.
And with Akash as well, you mentioned that, of course. Are those issues resolved? We saw, obviously, Ranjan Pai bought out some of Davidson Kempner's stake in Akash. All of it.
Yeah.
Is he also planning to buy out any further stakes, such as Blackstone's?
We are in talks to increase equity, but then again, it's too early to comment on that.
But as far as you're concerned, you believe that the issues at Akash are resolved?
Yes.
And the loan outstanding, you also mentioned that as well. With the spin-offs, do you feel that that's something that also will be resolved in the near future?
We're very hopeful.
Right. Talk to me about the audits as well, because there was a delay in your fiscal year 22 audits. When are you planning to file fiscal year 23 results? Without
giving a deadline, I want to say that we're hopeful it will complete as soon as we possibly can, right, in the coming months. FY22, again, was with a new auditor. And I think it was remarkable that they pulled it off in 4 months. And it was a year with a lot of acquisitions. So it wasn't a easy year, but all's well that ends well.
You talked about the learnings. Are you internally now in a better shape when it comes to being able to collect, report, audit those financials now? You had the CFO who came in, resigned, you promoted someone else in that position. Internally, do you feel you're in a better shape?
So one thing that I've learned over the last 1 year is that we were very strong in content, in tech, in pedagogy, in marketing. One thing that we should have focused on earlier is governance, right? And that's something that we've focused on building, starting with having a very strong advisory council, people who are recommending to us weekly what we need to do and how we need to take the right steps in the right direction. That's something that we're constantly building on. So in the next 1 year, I'm hopeful that we're also able to strengthen the governance side.
And can you give us any update on the health of the business as it stands from a financial perspective? It's still a loss-making business. You said, okay, now we're looking at profitability and growth. When do you expect it to hit that profitability?
So October 2022 is when we pivoted, I would say exactly 1 year since, from a growth only to a growth with profitability mindset. Now, to make a change at the root level, it takes time because we've had years of tremendous growth. And now we're doing that shift. So over the years, you would see that change. You will see that with the financial returns. You will see that the numbers are getting better. While we are growing, we're growing sustainably, so with a better profit margin. Do you have internally any goals as to when you feel, okay, this business will be profitable? I don't want to comment on it right now. What about your future? There was something very interesting with one of your biggest shareholders, Process. They come out and, you know, pretty critical of the way you've run the company as well. Have you lost the confidence of your shareholders? We would like to believe that we have not, because at all times we've kept the interest of our students, parents, employees and shareholders in mind. And whatever we are doing to build this back together. So in terms of what you think the company looks like going forward now, you had the years of breakneck speed growth. If you were to describe what Byju's looks like now for the next few years, what is that? Paint a picture for us. Byju's is a company which will continue to focus on the number that matters the most, the number of engagement and of learning outcomes and impact, right? Because every other number can come and go, but if you focus on impact and value creation, then you're going to be on the right path. And your valuation, do you believe it can get back to levels it was at its peak? While we aren't focused on that as a number, we will continue to create impact on students, and we believe that if we continue focusing on that, the valuation will come back.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.